Welcome everyone. Today we are going to take the numericals on the approximate estimate. In this lecture we are going to learn about the plinth area estimate as well as the cubical content method as well as the unit rate method. We are going to take the numericals on all three methods. Now to solve this particular numericals or any kind of the approximate estimate numericals, we have to follow the certain steps. This particular steps will include the step 1 as a rate of construction, step 2 as a cost of proposed building or the structural cost, step 3 as a cost of services, step 4 as a overall cost, then step 5 as a contingency and supervision, step 6 as a total cost, step 7 as a provisional sum, and step 8 as a grand total or the final cost of our particular building. Now the first step will be your rate of construction. Rate of construction is the rate we have derived from the cost of the reference building. Okay, as a contractors, I have built a certain kind of I have built a certain building previously, and from that particular building cost I am going to calculate the rate of construction. Okay, this particular rate of construction will be calculated by using the formula as a cost of the proposed building, cost of the रेफरेंस बिल्डिंग. ओके, जो भी आपकी रेफरेंस बिल्डिंग है उसका कॉस्ट. ओके, डिवाइडिंग इट विद द वॉट एवर अवर प्लिंथ एरिया इज देयर और द our cubical content is there or the service unit of the, again here it will be the reference building. Okay, so this way we can calculate the rate of construction. Now as we know, the rate of construction will be either in the per plinth area or per cubical content or per service unit. Therefore this particular step will define which method we are going to use to solve our particular numerical or which method we are going to use so that we get the approximate cost of our proposed building. So therefore this is the first step where we define which method we have to solve. Okay, so depending upon the given data we can use the plinth area method or cubical content method or the service unit method. So if the data is given, the height is given, in that case most probably we are going to use the cubical content method. If only area is given, in that case we are going to use the plinth area method, and if only service unit are given, in that case we are going to use the service unit method. Next step will be your cost of the building or the structural cost. Okay, now this will be your cost of the building or structural cost of the proposed building. Okay, so the cost of the proposed building or the structural cost will be equals to the whatever our rate of construction is there. We have already calculated the rate of construction in our first step. That particular rate of construction multiplying with the whatever our plinth area or the cubical content or the service unit or in the proposed building. Okay, whatever our proposed building is there, that in that particular proposed building, whatever that area of that particular proposed building is there or cubical content of proposed building is there, we are going to use that particular plinth area or the cubical content. So we know that suppose for the plinth area the rate of construction will be in the rupees per meter square. So therefore we are here multiplying with the plinth area. Again here we are using the plinth area rate, therefore we are multiplying with the plinth area. Plinth area will be in the meter square, therefore this particular meter square and this particular meter square will cross each other, therefore we will get the cost in the rupees. Similarly for the cubical content, the rate will be given in rupees per meter cube. Again we are going to multiply with the cubical content, that is the meter cube. So therefore again meter cube will cancel and we will get the cost in the rupees. So similarly for the service unit it will be the same. Okay, so in this particular step 2 we will get the cost of the proposed building or the structural cost of the proposed building in the rupees. Now in addition to this particular structural cost, we will also have to provide a certain services such as electrification, plumbing or any other extra architecture features, or there is any other cost. That particular cost will be included in the cost of the services. Okay, so the next step will be your cost of the services. Step 3 will be the cost of services. Now this particular cost will be given as a percentage for the approximate estimate. Now we certainly don't know the details of this particular services. Okay, whatever suppose electrification is there or suppose plumbing is there, we do not know the details of this particular services. Therefore we are going to take it as a percentage on the building cost. Suppose electrification, we are going to take the 8% of whatever our building cost is there. Okay, so generally we know that for any kind of the building the cost of the electrification ranges from the 7 to 9%. So therefore for this particular building we are going to take it as a 8%. Similarly we know that for the plumbing, whatever our total cost of the building is there, the plumbing cost will be around 8 to 10%. Okay, so here we are going to take again it as a 10%. So we know the cost of the services depending upon the total cost of the building. So therefore this particular, suppose for the plumbing it is 8%, for the suppose electrification is a 10%. So this particular percentage will be taken on the whatever our proposed building cost is there or the structural cost is there. So whatever our cost of services are there, this particular cost of the services will be taken on the cost of the building or the structural cost. Okay, so whatever our whatever the amount is there in the rupees in step 2, on that particular amount we are taking this particular percentage. Suppose the proposed building cost is 12 lakh rupees. Okay, suppose the cost is 12 lakh rupees. So in case of the suppose the services has a 8%. Okay, for the electrification the cost of the electrification is 8%. So we are going to take the 8% of this particular 12 lakh rupees to get the cost of the services as the electrification. Okay, so this is how we are going to calculate the cost of the services in step 3. Once we have calculated the cost of the services, next will be your overall cost. Okay, overall cost is required for our step 5, that is the contingency and supervision. So overall cost will be the cost of the building cost plus the cost of the services. Okay, so overall cost will be your equals to step 2 plus the step 3. This will give us the overall cost. Means step 2 is your building cost and step 3 is your service cost. Okay, so building cost plus service cost will be your overall cost. This cost will be required for the step 5 calculation, that is the contingencies and supervision. Now in case of the contingencies and supervision, suppose I am a particular contractor and I have to provide the contingencies, that is the amount for unforeseen expenses, or I have to provide the supervision for various services or construction work. So I am going to apply that particular whatever our percentage of supervision there or whatever the cost of the contingency there on the overall cost. Means for the contingencies, that is unforeseen expenses, will also apply on a building cost, also it will apply on the services. Similarly, for the supervision, I also have to provide the supervision for the building, as well as whenever there is the installation of the plumbing is there or whether installation of the electrification is there, whatever our service installation is there, for that service installation I have to provide the supervision also. Therefore cost of the contingencies and supervision is generally taken on the overall cost, that is the cost of the services and cost of the building. So whatever our contingencies are there, suppose 3 to 5% is our contingencies and 7 to 9% is our supervision. So in that case we are going to take this particular percentage of the supervision and contingencies on the overall cost. Okay, so remember that for the cost of the services, whatever our percentage there, that particular percentage will be taken on the cost of the building, whereas for the contingencies the percentage will be taken on the overall cost. Next step will be your total cost. Total cost will be your overall cost plus the cost of the contingencies and supervision. So total cost will be the step 4 plus step 5. Okay, step 4 is your overall cost, this is your overall cost, and step 5 is your contingencies and supervision. So addition of this particular two will give us the total cost. Now in addition to that, if suppose the electrification is not done by me, okay, I am a contractor and do not have the necessary requirement or necessary knowledge of the electrification or the skills or the labor available for the electrification. Therefore I'm going to recruit another third party, or I'm going to take an agreement with the third party that they are going to provide the electrification in my building. So therefore for that particular cost, for that particular amount, or for that particular cost of the electrification, I'm going to set aside a certain amount at the start of the construction. That particular set aside amount is known as your provisional sum. Okay, suppose so any services which we are going to provided by the third party and not by the contractor, for that particular third party services we are going to set aside a certain amount, and that particular certain amount is known as your provisional sum. Okay, so if in the numerical it is given that any kind of the third party installation is there, in that case that particular third party installation will be known as your provisional sum. So To get our final cost, we are going to add the total cost with the plus the provisional sum, so that we will get the grand cost. Okay, and if there is no provisional sum, in that case this particular total cost in the step 4, sorry, in the step 6 will be your final cost of the building. If it is a provisional sum, means if there is any third party installation is there, in that case it will be the total cost plus provisional sum, that is your final cost. Final cost will be equals to your step 6 plus step 7. Okay, step 6 is your total cost plus here if the provisional sum is there, if there is any kind of the provisional sum. Okay, if not, in that case whatever step 6 is there, that is your final cost. Okay, so these are the particular steps, these are the particular 8 steps which we have to follow to solve any kind of the approximate estimate numerical. Now depending upon the data available in the certain numericals, we might drop certain steps. Okay, suppose the cost of the service is not given, in that case we might drop step 4. Suppose there are no contingencies or supervision charges is mentioned, so again we can drop the step 5, or suppose the provisional sum is not given, so we can drop this step 7. Okay, so these particular steps are for the a complete numerical, but in certain numerical, depending upon the available data, we might need to drop this particular steps. But remember that this is the general criteria and this is the particular steps which we have to follow. Okay, so remember this particular step and then apply the suitable step as the particular data given in the numerical. Okay, so starting with our first numerical. Example number 1, prepare an approximate estimate of a building project with a total plinth area of all building as a 800 square meter. Okay, means here the plinth area is given to you. Okay, whatever our proposed building is there, for particular proposed building the plinth area is given, and that plinth area is equals to 800 square meter. Next, the plinth area rate is equals to rupees 4500 per square meter. So again plinth area rate is given, plinth area rate will be equals to rupees per meter square, which is here given, that is a rupees 4500 per square meter. Next is your cost of the water supply. Again the cost of the water supply is given as a 7.5%. as I said, whatever the services are there, for that particular services the cost will be given as a percentage. So here it is given as a percentage. Now here it is directly mentioned that this particular cost should be taken on the cost of the building. Some of the time it not be mentioned, so you have to assume that for the services we are going to take it on the cost of the services, and for the contingency and supervision we are going to take it on the overall cost. Okay, so here the cost of the water supply at 7.5% should be taken on the cost of the building. Next is again a cost of the sanitary or electrification is given as a 7.5%. okay, again remember to read the numerical. Okay, here in the numerical it is given as a cost of the sanitary and electrical installation each. Okay, this is the important term here it is given as a each. Therefore for the sanitary installation the cost of the cost will be 7.5%, and for the electrical installation again the cost will be equals to 7.5%. okay, some of the time students do not read this particular numericals and they directly take the cost of the sanitary and electrical installation as a 7.5% alone. But remember that here it is mentioned as a each, therefore we have to take 7.5% for the sanitary and 7.5% for the electrification. Okay, next is again cost of the architecture feature is given as 1% of the building cost. Then the cost of the roads and lawns is given as a 5% of the building cost. All of these are the services. Okay, so again this all of these are services, therefore those are taken on the building cost. Okay, next is your PS and contingencies is given as a 4%. Now here as I said, here directly given that this particular 4% should be taken on the overall cost. Okay, so some of the numericals it might not be given, only it is given as a cost of the PS and contingency equals to 4%. So remember that if it is not given, in that case we have to take it on the overall cost. Okay, next is your cost of the supervision as a 8%. okay, again here it is not mentioned, it should be taken on the overall cost of that, so therefore again it is a supervision charges, therefore it should be taken on the overall cost. Okay, so starting with our first step. Okay, first step will be obviously your rate of construction. Now here the rate of construction is directly given to you. Again first in the rate of construction what we do, we define the method which we are going to follow. Okay, depending upon the data available. Now here what is the data available? For the proposed building we have the 800 square meter area, and only for the reference building we only have the rate. So therefore this particular rate is given in the plinth area. So therefore in this particular numerical we are going to use the plinth area method. Okay, so for the rate of the construction will be your plinth area rate. So again, plinth area rate is directly given to you. Okay, so we can move forward with our step 1, that is the rate of construction, as directly the plinth area rate is given as a 4500 per square meter or per meter square. Okay, next step will be the cost of the building now, or the structural cost. Okay, cost of the building, we already seen the cost of the building. The formula for the cost of the building will be equals to plinth area rate. Okay, whatever our plinth area rate is there. Okay, we are cost of the building will define upon the rate of construction. Okay, now here the rate of construction is a plinth area rate. Okay, so therefore here we are putting it in the plinth area rate, again multiplying with the plinth area, cause here we are taking the plinth area rate, therefore here taking the plinth area of the proposed building, whatever our proposed building is there. For that particular proposed building, the plinth area of the proposed building is given as the 800 square meter in our numerical. Therefore the cost of the building will be equals to, here the plinth area rate is 4500 and the plinth area of the proposed building as 800. So 4500 multiplied by the 800 will give us the cost of the building. So therefore the cost of the building equals to 4500 multiplied by 800, that will give us the cost as a 36 lakhs. Next, step 3 will be the cost of the services. Again, cost of the services will include the whatever our services are there. So whatever is mentioned other than the contingencies and the supervision will be considered as a cost of the services. Okay, whatever is mentioned. Okay, here suppose the cost of the roads and lawns is there, here the cost of the architecture feature is there. So whatever is mentioned other than the contingencies and the supervision should be considered as a cost of the services, or should be considered as a services. Okay, it can be anything, it can be extra architecture feature, it can be for the extra slab, or it can be for the extra pier, or it can be for the extra pile foundation, or it can be for anything you want. It is a services. So anything other than the contingencies and the supervision should be taken as a services, and those particular percentage should be taken as a cost of the building. Okay, so whatever our percentage of the services are there, that particular percentage should be taken on the cost of the building. So for the water supply, it is 7.5%. So 7.5%. So cost of the water supply at 7.5% will be equals to 7.5% of the our building cost, and building cost is our 36 lakhs. So 7.5% of the 36 lakhs. So 3600 multiplied by 7.5%, that is 7.5 divided by 100. Similarly, for the sanitary and electrical installation, as I already said, for the sanitary here it is mentioned that this for each it is a 7.5. So therefore 7.5 for each, therefore for both of them 7.5 plus electrification 7.5, that will give us the 15%. So again 15% of the 36 lakhs. Again for the architecture fitting it is a 1%. So 1% of the 36 lakhs will be your whatever our cost of the architecture feature is there. Then cost for the roads and lawns, again it is a 5%, and 5% is of the building cost. So remember that cost of the services should be taken on the building cost. Okay, so whatever our percentage is there, 7.5, 15%, 1% or 5%, we are taking it as a cost of the we are taking it as a percentage of the cost of the building. Okay, so here again we are taking 36 lakh, here we are taking 36 lakhs. Okay, so as you can see, whatever our cost is there, we are taking the percentage as a building cost, that is a 36 lakhs. Okay, so next the step 4 will be your overall cost. Okay, now we know that the overall cost will be the addition of the step 2 and the step 3. Okay, step 2 is your cost of the proposed building, or the cost structural cost, that is a 36 lakhs, plus the cost of the services will give us the step 4, that is the overall cost. Okay, so overall cost will be equals to cost of the building plus cost of the services. Okay, that is the step 2 and step 3. Okay, so 36 lakhs is your cost of the building, and then the cost of the services is, this is your cost of the water supply, then cost of the sanitary and electrical installation, then architecture feature, and then the roads and lawns. Okay, this is your building cost. Okay, so building cost plus water supply cost plus sanitary and electrification cost, then architecture feature cost, and then the roads and lawns cost. Okay, so addition of the all of this particular 5 will give us the overall cost of the building as a 46 lakh 26,000. Okay, so next step 5 will be the contingencies and the supervision. Okay, so cost of the contingency supervision, we know that for the step 5 whatever contingency is there, we take it as a percentage of the overall cost. Okay, so whatever our contingencies are given, see the contingencies are given as a 4% and the supervision charges are given as 8%. This particular percentage we are going to take it as a percentage of the overall cost. Okay, so for the contingency, the cost of the PSN contingency is given as a 4%. So 4% of this particular 46 lakh 26,000 will be the cost of the contingency. So 46 lakh 26,000 ka whatever 4% is there, that is a 4 divided by 100. Similarly, supervision charges is given as a 8%, so it will be equals to 4626 multiplied by 8 divided by 100. Okay, so this will give us the cost of the contingencies and the cost of the supervision. Now the step 5 will be your total cost. Okay, total cost will be the step 4 plus step 5. Okay, total cost will be your step 4, that is the overall cost plus cost of the contingencies and supervision. Okay, so total cost will be equals to this particular cost 46 lakh 26,000 plus 185,040 plus 370,080. Okay, so this will be the total cost. Total cost will be your overall cost plus cost of the contingencies and supervision. So again 4626, again 185,040 and 370,8080. Okay, so that will give us the cost as a 51 lakh and 81,000. Okay, now here again it is not given if this particular numerical, if there is any kind of the third party involved. Okay, so there will be no provisional sum here. Okay, nor there is a mention of the directly provision sum, or nor there is a mention of the any kind of the third party involvement. Therefore here there will be no provisional sum. Therefore we can consider that the step 6 is your final step. So whatever our cost in the step 6 is there, that will be the cost of our that will be the final approximate cost. So we can say that for this particular building, the approximate cost will be equals to 51,81,120 rupees. So the approximate cost of the building is equals to rupees 5181,120. Okay, this is how the general numerical on the any kind of Plinth area method will be solved. Okay, this particular step 6 you have to follow, and if there is any kind of provisional sum, in that case step 7 will be there, or step 8 will be there. Unless there is any extra provisional sum involved, we can end the particular numerical at the step 6. Okay, next, second numerical, example number 2. The Plinth area of an apartment is given as a 500 square meter. Determine the total cost of the building from the following data. So again, Plinth area of an apartment is given, and for that particular apartment we have to calculate the total cost of the building. So this is your proposed building this is the proposed building area. Okay, and that is the Plinth area. So rate of the construction is given as 1230 per meter cube. Again here for this particular proposed building, the Plinth area is given. Okay, so we have to consider here Plinth area is given, and here the rate is given as a cubical content rate. Okay, now the height of the reference building is given as a 12 meter. Services or contingencies are already given. Okay, so now starting with our first step. What is our first step? First step is your rate of construction. Now always remember, this is the step where we are going to know which methods to follow depending upon the given data. Now our rate of construction is given in the cubical content. Okay, that is the rupees per meter square, sorry, meter cube. Okay, so our rate is given in the rupees per meter cube. Okay, that is a cubical content rate. But for our apartment only the area is given, that is meter square. Okay, so if in the cost of the construction or cost of the building, if we are going to multiply the rate of construction, that is rupees per meter cube, with our Plinth area, we will only get the cost of the building as rupees per meter. So we want this particular cost of the building in rupees. Therefore we have to convert this rate of the construction in the Plinth area method. Okay, sorry, in the Plinth area rate. Okay, if the height of our proposed apartment was given, in that case we do not need to convert this particular rate of construction, but only the area is given for our proposed building. Therefore we have to convert this in the rupees per meter square. Now the height of the reference building is also given. Okay, so from that height of the building we are going to calculate the rate of the the height of the reference building is given. So from the height of the reference building we are going to calculate the rate of the plinth area rate, okay, for the proposed structure. Okay, so the cubical content rate is given as 1230 per meter cube. Now the plinth area rate will be equals to, okay, now we know that cubical content rate, okay, cubical content rate will be equals to cost of the reference building divided by the plinth area of the building multiplied by the height. Okay, this will give us this plinth area multiplied by height. This will give us the cubical content, and this is your cost of the reference building. Okay, and this is your plinth area of the reference building. This is your height of the reference building. So we can also write down this as the cost divided by the plinth area multiplied by 1 by h. Okay, we have written this particular, whatever our formula is there for the cubical content rate, the formula is cost divided by the cubical content, and cubical content is written as a plinth area multiplied by the height. So we can say that cost divided by plinth area, this is what, this is your plinth area rate. Cost divided by area is your plinth area, this is your plinth area rate. Okay, so we can say that the cubical content rate, okay, so we can say that the cubical content rate will be equals to plinth area rate multiplied by 1 by h. Okay, 1 by h, that is the height. Okay, so again repeating this particular whatever calculation is repeating that cubical content rate will be equals to the cost divided by plinth area multiplied by height. Okay, we know that cost divided by cubical content. Okay, cubical content rate will be equals to cost divided by cubical content, and cubical content will be equals to area multiplied by height. Okay, this is how we are going to calculate the volume. Okay, we are going to get the volume from this area multiplied by height, that is the cubical content. So this area is plinth area multiplied by height. We can also write it down it as a cost divided by the plinth area multiplied by 1 by h. Now cost divided by plinth area is your plinth area rate. So we can write down this this particular equation as a cubical content rate will be equals to plinth area rate multiplied by 1 by h. Okay, so write down this particular formula. This is the important formula which we are going to need to convert the cubical content rate into the plinth area rate, or plinth area rate into the cubical content rate. Okay, now here the cubical content rate is given. Cubical content rate is given as a 1230. That will be equals to, we need the plinth area rate, okay, as well as we have the height of the reference building. Height of the reference building h will be equals to height of the reference building is given as a 12 meters, so 1 by 12. So if we multiply this particular 12 to the 1230, we will get the plinth area rate, and that is what we have done here. Plinth area rate will be equals to 1230 multiplied by the height 12, height of the reference building 12, that will give us the plinth area rate, that is rupees per meter square. Okay, so write down note down this particular formula or this particular equation to get to convert the cubical content rate to the plinth area rate, and plinth area rate to the cubical content rate. Okay, so once we have get the plinth area rate, we can move forward with our numerical. Now we have got the plinth area rate. Now all of the particular whatever our steps are there, that will be the similar steps. Okay, so next step will be the cost of our building, or the cost structural cost of our proposed structure. Okay, now again it will be equals to it will be equals to the plinth area rate, okay, multiplied by the plinth area of the proposed building. So now the plinth area rate is given, we have already calculated the plinth area rate as 14760, and plinth area of the proposed building is given as a 500 square meter. So again using that particular formula we can get the cost of the building. Now all the particular steps are similar. Here services cost will be your water supply, sanitary and electrical installation. Now again for this here it is mentioned as for each it is a 6%. So 6% for the water supply, 6% for the sanitary, and 6% for the electrification. Total will be equals to 18%. Okay, so the cost of the services, first cost will be your provisional for the water supply, sanitary and electrical installation as a 6% each. Okay, therefore we can directly take it as a 18% of the total whatever cost of the building is there. Okay, 6 plus 6 plus 6. Okay, 6 for the water supply, 6 for the sanitary, and 6 for the electrification. So therefore we can take it direct as a 18%. Okay, similarly architecture feature will be your Architecture feature will be your services, unforeseen item will be your services. Remember that other than the contingencies and supervision, okay, other than the contingencies and the supervision, whatever data is given to you, whatever the percentage mentioned, that particular mentioned percentage will be your cost of the services. So here the unforeseen items are given as a 20%, so sorry, as a 2%. So again it is the one of the cost of the services. So again one of the cost of the services. So cost of the architecture feature is given as a 1%, cost of the unforeseen items is given as a 2%. So again taking the 2% of our building cost, so building cost is again 73800. Okay, 7380, 18% of the 7380, again 1% of the 7380, again 2% of the 7380. Okay, so that will give us the cost of the services. Next step is your overall cost. Overall cost is your cost of the building plus cost of the services. This is the similar from the previous example. Similarly, cost of the building is given as a 73800 plus cost of the services we have calculated. For the water supply, sanitary and electrical construction, it is given as the 1328400, and for the architecture which is 73800, and unforeseen expenses it is equals to 147. So addition of this will give us the overall cost. So now the contingencies is given. Contingencies should be taken on the overall cost. So contingencies are given as a 4%. So 4% of this particular 8929800 will give us the cost of the contingencies. Again here there is no mention what this partition should be taken on the building cost, or this particular percentage should be taken on the overall cost. Okay, there is no mention. So remember that if it is a service, okay, if it is a service, then for the services we are going to take it on the building cost. Okay, if there are any kind of the service, electrification, whatever our services are there, that should be taken, whatever the percentage are there, that should be taken on the building cost. And if it is a contingencies, okay, if it is a contingencies or it is a supervision, okay, if it is a contingencies or supervision, in that case it should be taken on the overall cost. Okay, so here it is a contingencies, so therefore we are taking the contingencies 4% on the overall cost, that is 8929800. Okay, this is your overall cost. Okay, if it is our services, we are going to take it as a building cost. Okay, so again step 5 will be completed. Again step 6 is your total cost. Again here there are not any third party installations are there, there is no third party involved, therefore we can directly take step 6 as a final step, that is the total cost. Total cost will be your overall cost plus cost of the contingencies. So that will give us the final cost or the approximate cost of our proposed building as a 9286992. Okay, so again in this particular numerical, the focus was on the conversion of the cubical content to the plinth area. So remember this particular formula or this particular equation, cubical content rate will be equals to plinth area rate multiplied by 1 by h. H is your height of reference building, or this can be also written as cubical content rate equals to plinth area rate divided by the height of, again here it is important, this is the height of reference building, not the proposed building. Okay, so this is your height of the reference building. This was the main focus of this numerical. Now moving forward to the next numerical. Next numerical is example number 3. Prepare approximate estimate for a small residential building using the following data. The details of the various rooms details are given. The hall is 3.6 meter by 5 meter and only one single room is there, or only single hall is there. Then bedroom are 3.5 meter by 5.5 meter. The number of bedrooms are 2. Kitchen are 3 meter by 5 meter. Again number of rooms are 1 meter, and toilet block is given as a 2.8 meter by 3 meter. Again number is 1. The cost of the reference building is given, and as well as the plinth area of the reference building is there. So therefore we have to calculate the rate of construction here. So first only this particular information is there, no other information is there, so therefore we do not need to take any extra suppose services or the contingencies of supervision. Okay, if it is not mentioned in the numerical that we have to take, or we have to assume the appropriate data, in that case we can directly calculate the cost. Okay, if it is given that you have to assume the suitable data, in that case we might need to follow certain rules, such as taking the cost of the electrification, taking the cost of the contingency, taking the cost of the supervision. But if it is not mentioned in the numerical that we have to assume the certain data, or we have to calculate it by taking the appropriate measures, so we can just ignore them. Okay, so here the first will be your rate of the construction. The rate of the construction will be, again here there is only area is given. Okay, now here directly there is no mention of the plinth area. Okay, whatever our proposed building is there, for that particular proposed building there is no mention of the area, rather the details of room is there. So from the details of room we can easily calculate the plinth area or the carpet area. Okay, we can calculate from the rooms, we can calculate the carpet area, and from the carpet area we can calculate the plinth area. So here there is no height of the building is given. Okay, whatever proposed building is there, there is no height given. So here we have to use the plinth area method. Okay, so here we have to use the plinth area method. Now to calculate the rate of the construction, we have the cost of the reference building and the plinth area of the reference building. So we can easily calculate the plinth area rate as the cost of the reference building divided by the plinth area of our reference building. So cost of the reference building is given as 18 lakh divided by the area is given as a 250 square meter. So the plinth area rate will be equals to 18 lakh divided by 250. Okay, that will give us the plinth area rate as a 7200 rupees per meter square, या फिर rupees 7200 per square meter. Okay, so from that particular this particular rate multiplied by the plinth area of our proposed building, plinth area of proposed building will give us the cost of our building. Okay, or the approximate cost of the proposed building. So first we have to calculate the plinth area. Okay, so next step 2 will be your cost of the proposed building. We know the formula for the cost of the building as a plinth area rate multiplied by the plinth area of the proposed building. Now first, so that calculation we need to calculate the plinth area of the proposed building. Now the plinth area will be calculated based on the carpet area. Okay, first we have to calculate the carpet area from the room details, and from that particular carpet area we are going to calculate the plinth area. Okay, now the carpet area, that is the area under the rooms, will be equals to the area of the room. Okay, so area of the room will be equals to hall area is given as a 3.6 meter multiplied by 5 meter, and number is equals to 1. So therefore it will be equals to 3.6 multiplied by 5 multiplied by the number of rooms. Similarly for the bedroom it is given as a 3.5 meter by 5 meter, and the number of rooms are 2, therefore taking it as a 2. Similarly for the kitchen it is given as a 3 meter by 5 meter and number equals to 1. So 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 1. So here 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 1. Again for the toilet block it is 2.8 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 1. Okay, so considering this particular addition of this area of the all of the rooms, we get the carpet area as a 79.9 square meter or 79.9 meter square. Okay, now this particular area is only the carpet area, means suppose this is your building. Okay, if it is this is your building, okay, this there will be a multiple rooms in there. Okay, these buildings will include the multiple rooms. Okay, now the carpet area will be the only area of this particular room. There will be no area for the wall. Okay, whatever our wall are there, those particular wall area is not considered. Okay, so we also have to consider the wall area as well as the lobby area. So increasing this particular area by a certain percentage, so that we will get the plinth area. So here we are going to increase it by the 20% for the for adding the area under the walls. Okay, so increasing it by 20%. So it is again this is the just there is no hard hand rule key what should be the area under the walls. Okay, some of the time the area under the wall will be considered with respect to the plinth area, some of the time it will be considered with respect to the carpet area. Okay, so for our ease of calculation, if it is not given in the numerical whether the area under the wall is 20% of the plinth area, or suppose the lobby area is 10% of the plinth area, if this kind of the information is not given, in that case we are going to assume that the whatever our room is, we are going to directly assume that the 20% of the carpet area or the increment in the increment by the 20% in the carpet area will give us the final plinth area. Okay, we can assume this so that to make our calculation easy. Okay, if in the numerical it is given that the plinth area, whatever our plinth area is there, out of that particular plinth area 20% is suppose for the lobby, and suppose 10% is for the suppose wall. So in that case we have to use a different method. But here if it is not given in the numerical, we can directly increase the carpet area by a certain percentage so that we will get the plinth area. So here increasing the carpet area by the 20% to get the plinth area. So plinth area will be equals to 79.9 multiplied by 1.2. This is the, here we are increasing the 79.9 by the 20%, therefore we have multiplied it by the 1.2. that will give us the plinth area of the proposed building as a 95.88 square meter. Okay, now we have get the plinth area of the proposed building, as well as we have the rate. Okay, we have the plinth area rate as well as the plinth area of the proposed building. We can calculate the cost of the building. So the cost of the building is equals to plinth area rate. Plinth area rate we have calculated as 7200 multiplied by the plinth area of the proposed building. Plinth area of the proposed building is 95.88. That will give us the cost of the building as 6,90,336. Okay, now again here there is no mention of the services, nor there is a mention of the contingency, nor there is a mention of the supervision, as well as there is no mention in the numericals that we have to add a certain utilities, or we have to assume the appropriate data. Therefore we can carry forward by saying that this cost of the building will be your final cost. Okay, so therefore the approximate cost of the proposed building will be equals to 6,90,336. There we are not adding anything in this particular numerical, okay, or in this particular final value, as there is no mention in the numerical, nor there is a mention of the any kind of the appropriate assumption. Okay, now next example number 4. The carpet and the plinth area rate of the residential building are 100 square meter and rupees 500 respectively. Okay, means for a particular building, whatever our building is there, reference building is there, for that particular reference building, plinth area rate is given as a 500, and as well as the plinth area, this is the plinth area rate. Plinth area of the proposed building is given as a carpet area of the proposed building is given. Okay, carpet area of the proposed building is given as 100 square meter. So this is the similar to the previous numerical. In that particular numerical, the carpet area was given, that is the room details are given, and from that particular carpet area we calculated the plinth area, and then plinth area rate multiplied by plinth area will get the total cost. But here it is said that determine the total cost of the building assuming the suitable provision. Okay, so here it is mentioned that we have to assume a suitable provision. So therefore we have to assume the cost of the services as well as the contingencies and the supervision. Okay, if it is not mentioned here that we have to assume a suitable provision, in that case we might have use the similar methods which we have used in the previous numerical, but it is totally given here that we have to assume the suitable provision. Therefore we have to assume cost of the services, or the cost of the contingency, or the cost of the supervision. So again, solving the same numerical stepwise. Step 1 is your rate of the construction. Rate of the construction is directly given as 500 rupees per square meter, that is the plinth area rate is given. So plinth area rate is given as a rupees 500 per meter square. Next is your cost of the proposed building. Again, cost of the proposed building is your plinth area rate multiplied by the plinth area of the proposed building. Now again, the carpet area is given. From that particular carpet area we can calculate the plinth area. So again, carpet area is 100 square meter, increasing that by the 30%. Now this 20%, 30%, the range should be between 20 to 40%. Okay, for the increment in the carpet area, the range should be between 20 to 40%. Okay, so if it is not given in the numerical, you can assume it is 20%, you can assume it 30%, you can assume it 35%, you can assume it 40%. Okay, so generally it should be taken 20 to 30, but we can assume it as a 40% also. If it is not given in the numerical, then we can just assume that. Okay, just remember to write down that we are assuming that or we are increasing the carpet area by a particular percentage for the area under walls or lobby. Okay, if it is not given in the numerical, okay, we can assume around 20 to 40%. We can be 35%, it can be 20%, or it can be 25%. Okay, it can be anything, just whatever you are assuming, that particular percentage should be written in the numerical while solving, so that the whatever examiner is there, he should know, he or she should know what is actually you are doing here. Okay, so here we are doing what we are doing here is increasing the carpet area by a certain percentage for the area under the walls and the lobby. Okay, so increasing the carpet area by the 30%, so that increment will be equals to again 100 multiplied by the 1.3. okay, again 1.3 is for the, obviously 1.3 is the increment by the 30%, and 100 is your carpet area. So we get the plinth area of the proposed building as a 1300 square meter. So we can cost of the building will be equals to 130, that is your plinth area multiplied by the plinth area rate as a 500, that will give us the cost of the building as 650. Now we have to, as this numerical, it is said that you are going to assume a suitable provision. Therefore assuming the suitable provision will be the cost of the services. So we can add the cost of the sanitary fitting as well as water supply at 50%. We can add the cost of the electrification at 7.5%. we can add the cost of the any other services as a 5%. Okay, so generally if it is not given, we have to assume suitable provision. In that case, for the cost of the services, this particular three should be taken, that is the cost of the water supply, cost of the electrification, and cost of the other services. Generally for the water supply, sanitary, plumbing, electrification, for the each it should be taken as a 7.5%. There is a range 7.5 to 12%, I think the range is there, but just assuming the 75% will be sufficient, as there is no mention, just we have to assume, so we can assume anything. Just do not assume is something like for the electrification it will be 1%, for the water supply it will be equal to 0.5%, obviously, or suppose for the sanitary fitting is it equals to 30%, obviously the cost will not be way much this much higher or this much lower. So the range should be about 7.5 to 12%. Okay, whatever assumption is there, that range should be between the 7.5 to 12%. Okay, so considering the all of the services, these particular three services should be there: water supply, sanitary, and the electrification, and the other services. This is the minimum. You can also add any other if you think that is a suitable option, but I think this three will be sufficient. Next will be your overall cost. Again, overall cost will be your cost of the building plus cost of the services. Then contingency and supervision. For the contingencies we are taking it as 4%. For the supervision, again we can avoid the supervision, or we can just take the contingencies. Okay, just remember that for this overall if it is a suitable provision, in that case the contingencies is must, you can avoid the supervision. Okay, also you can also add here the supervision cost. It is not, it is like we have to assume things, so we can also assume the supervision cost. Okay, but the compulsory is the contingencies. Okay, we cannot avoid the contingency. So the total cost will be equals to cost of overall cost plus cost of contingency. Therefore for the example number 4, the approximate cost of the proposed structure equals to 8,61,900. Okay, so next numerical example number 5. Prepare a rough estimate for a proposed commercial complex for a municipal corporation for the following data. Okay, now we have to propose a multi-story building, as it is a complex, so therefore obviously it will be the multi-story building. So we know that for the multi-story building, the most preferable method is obviously the cubical content method. But for here, the plinth area is given as a 500 meter square per floor. Height of the each story is given as 3.5 meter. The number of stories for the our commercial complex is given as G plus 2. The cubical content rate is given as a 1000 rupees per meter cube. Now as a percentage, again here it is mentioned that this particular whatever following items are there, these are provided as a percentage of the structural cost. Okay, so whatever our assumption was there, that is a service, we are taking the services on the building cost, we are taking the contingencies and supervision on the overall cost. This particular whatever assumption are there, these are not applicable to this numerical, as here directly mentioned that this particular following whatever items are there, this particular item should be taken as a percentage of the structural cost. Means whatever mentioned items are there, suppose here the contingencies is mentioned, that should be taken on the building cost. If it is a supervision measure, in that case it will be taken as a building cost. Okay, so if in the numerical is directly given that whatever contingencies are there, that should be taken either on the overall cost or this should be taken on building cost, then that assumption should be followed. Okay, if it is not given, in that case our own assumption, that is the cost of the services should be taken on the building cost, and the cost of the contingencies and supervision should be taken on the overall cost. Okay, this assumption should be followed. But if it is given directly in the numerical that this is the assumption we have to follow, in that case we are going to follow this assumption. Okay, so obviously here the contractor's profit is also given, as well as the petty supervision and contingencies is given. For that particular petty supervision and contingencies, it is given as a 3%. Okay, so it is given as a 3%. So again, this particular 3% will also be taken on the structural cost. Okay, now again starting with our step 1, that is the rate of the construction. Rate of the construction is equals to rate of construction. Here obviously the multi-story building is there, as well as the height and the plinth area of the building is given. Therefore we do not need to convert the cubical content rate into the plinth area rate, as the height of the proposed building is given, as well as the plinth area of the proposed building is there. So that from that particular plinth area and the height, we can calculate the cubical content of the proposed building. So here the cubical content rate is given as a 1000 rupees per meter cube. So starting with the next step, that's step 2, that is the cost of the proposed building, so, or the cost of the structural cost of the proposed building, that will be equals to the cubical content rate multiplied by the cubical content of the proposed building. Now we have the cubical content of our building, cubical content rate of our building as a rupees 100 per meter cube. Now we have to also calculate the cubical content of the proposed building. Now cubical content of the proposed building will be equals to the plinth area of the building multiplied by the total height of the building. Okay, plinth area will be in the plinth area will be in the meter square multiplied by total height will be in the meter, so that we will get the cubical content in the meter cube, that is the volume. Okay, cubical content is volume, therefore we will get this volume in the meter cube. Okay, so calculating the cubical content of the proposed building. Cubical content of the proposed building will be to plinth area multiplied by the total height. Total height will be equals to the height of the each story. Okay, suppose this is your building. Okay, this particular building will have suppose 1, 2 and 3 stories are there. This is a G, this is your 1 and this is your 2. So therefore the total height will be equals to this particular height, and the height of the each story is given as a 3.5 meter, means this particular height is 3.5 meter. This particular height is again 3.5 meter. This particular height is again given as a 3.5 meter. So total height will be equals to 3.5 multiplied by 3, or that will be also written as height of the each story multiplied by the number of stories. So here the height will be equals to 3.5, that is the each story is given as a 3.5 multiplied by the number of stories as a 3. So this will give us this particular total height. So total height will be equals to height of the each story, that is 3.5 multiplied by the number of story 3, and this particular height multiplied by the plinth area will give us the cubical content. So the cubical content will be equals to 5250 meter cube. Okay, now we get the cubical content. We have the cubical content rate. Okay, we have the cubical content rate. We get also have the cubical content of the proposed building. So we can move forward with our cost of the building. Cost of the building is equals to 5250 multiplied by the 1000. 5250 is a cubical content and 1000 is your cubical content rates. That will give us the cost of the building as 5250,000. Okay, this will be the cost of the building. Now following the same step 3, cost of the services. Now as this particular whatever our percentage there, this should be taken as a percentage of the structural cost. Whatever our services are there, whatever our items are there, this should be taken as a structural cost. Therefore we are going to take all of this particular percentage, 8% of the structural cost, 6% of the structural cost, 5% of the structural cost, 10% of the structural cost, as well as 3% of the structural cost. Okay, whatever cost is there, we are going to take it as a percentage of the structural cost. Okay, so therefore in the cost of the services we are going to include the supervision and contingencies also. So again 8% of the 5250, again 6% of the 5250, again 5% of the 5250, again 10% of the 5250, again contingencies 3% of the 5250. Okay, that will give us the cost of the services. So total cost will be equals to whatever our cost of the building is there plus cost of the services. Okay, here we are not taking any kind of overall cost, as it is mentioned in this numerical that all this particular whatever our items are there, that particular item should be taken as the structural cost. Okay, in the numerical it is mentioned that whatever items are there, that should be taken as a structural cost. Okay, so therefore there is no overall cost is there. Okay, there is no overall cost here. We have only the cost of the services as well as the cost of the building. Okay, so cost of the services plus cost of the building will be your total cost. Okay, so total cost will be your cost of the building plus cost of the services. That total cost comes to rupees 69300. Therefore we can say that the approximate cost of the proposed building is equals to 6930000. Okay, the focus of this numerical was dropping a certain steps. Okay, we know that for the contingency and supervision we take the overall cost, but if the numerical it is given that it should be taken as a structural cost, then we are going to take it as a structural cost. If it is not given in the numericals, in that case we are going to take it as a overall cost. So remember that we can drop the certain step, whatever our 8 steps are there, and we have to drop a certain step depending upon the data given in the numerical. Okay, next numerical example number 6 is your prepare the approximate estimate of the building B with the following details. Means our proposed building is your building B. Okay, next the area of the building B is given. Okay, whatever area of the building is given, if it is not mentioned whether it is a plinth area or the carpet area, in that case we are directly assuming it as it is a plinth area. Okay, if it is mentioned as a carpet area, in that case we have to convert it in the plinth area. If it is not given whether it is a plinth area, whether it is a carpet area, then we are going to assume that whatever area is given, that is your plinth area. Okay, next plinth area rate is given as a 6500 rupees per meter square. Next, the height of the building A. Okay, building B is your obviously proposed building. Okay, we have to prepare approximate estimate of the building B. So therefore building B is your proposed building. Okay, building B is your proposed building. So therefore height of building A means building A is your, this is your reference building. Okay, we can say that the building A is your reference building. So next, height of the building B is also given, that is the proposed building. Height of the proposed building is given as a 8 meter. Okay, so again let's, whatever the cost is given. Okay, so starting with our first, that is the rate of construction. Now defining which method we have to use. So now for the proposed building, okay, for the proposed building is your building B. Okay, for the proposed building B, we have height, we have the plinth area. Okay, plinth area is 160, as well as we have the height of the building A as a 8 meter. Okay, means we have the plinth area, we have the height, so we can calculate the cubical content of the proposed building. So here we have to use the cubical content method. Okay, depending upon the data given, which is the most suitable method is the cubical content method. So therefore the rate of the construction should be the cubical content rate. Okay, rate of the construction should be the cubical content rate, but in our numerical the plinth area rate is given, not the cubical content rate is given. Okay, for our building B, we have the height, we have the area as well as the height. So therefore we can easily calculate the cubical content. But therefore we require the cubical content rate. Here in the first step, for the rate of the construction, we require the cubical content rate. Okay, but here the plinth area rate is given. Therefore we are going to convert the plinth area rate into the cubical content rate. So again, our previous equation was cubical content rate will be equals to plinth area rate divided by the height of reference building. Reference is important term, it is a reference building. So therefore here we have to calculate again cubical content rate. So cubical content rate will be equals to plinth area rate is given as a 6500 divided by the height of the reference building. Building A is your reference building. Okay, so therefore height is given as 7.5 meter. So therefore 6500 divided by 7.5, this will give us the cubical content rate. Okay, so our first step, cubical content rate will be equals to cost of the building divided by the volume of the building. Okay, so cube rate will be equals to cost divided by area. This is the just whatever is there. So cube rate will be equals to the plinth area rate 6500 divided by the cubical content, the height of the reference building. So we get the cubical content rate as a rupees 866.67 per meter cube. Okay, so remember our formula to convert the cubical content rate into the plinth area rate and plinth area rate into the cubical content rate. Okay, again the formula is cubical content rate equals to plinth area rate divided by the height of reference building. Here the reference building is important now, or you are going to divide it by the 7.5. Here the reference building is important. Okay, so once we have got the cubical content rate, the numerical is quite similar to the previous numerical. Here again cost of the proposed building will be equals to structural cost plus cost of the building will be equals to the structural cost, that will be equals to the cubical content rate multiplied by the cubical content of the proposed building. So for the proposed building, the cubical content will be calculated by plinth area multiplied by the height of the proposed building. The plinth area of the proposed building is building B is your proposed building, so plinth area is 160 square meter and the height of the building B is 8. So 160 multiplied by 8 will be your cubical content. So here the cubical content of the proposed building will be equals to again plinth area multiplied by the total height. Okay, so plinth area is 160 multiplied by height, total height is given as directly 8 meter. So 160 multiplied by 8, that will give us the cubical content of the building B, that is a proposed building, as a 1280 meter cube. Okay, so cost of the building, again cost of the building equals to cubical content rate. Cubical content rate is 866.67 multiplying with the cubical content of the proposed building. Cubical content of the proposed building is 1280. Okay, so that will give us the cost of the building. Now rest of the similar, rest of the numerical similar. Cost of the water supplies, cost of the electrification, contingencies, and consider fluctuation over the project lies as a 7%. Okay, so other than the contingencies, whatever other cost is there other than the contingencies should be taken as the cost of the services. So therefore cost of the services, water supply 7%, then electrification at 8%, and then fluctuation as a 7%. As I said, other than the contingencies and the supervision, all should be taken as a services. Therefore, here the fluctuation in the rate over the project life is given as 7%. This is also considered as a services. Okay, as I said, other than the contingencies and the supervision, okay, whatever else is given, that should be taken as a services. Okay, whatever else is given, okay, it can be referenced in the many other word. Okay, this is a fluctuation, any kind of the many it will be referring in any kind number of the words, number of the wording, but remember that other than the contingencies and the supervision, all should be taken as a services. Okay, so next, contingencies. For the contingencies, we will require the overall cost. So overall cost will be the cost of the building. Again, this is the similar for the previous numerical, whatever we have done, this is the same. So total cost is your cost of the overall cost plus cost of the contingencies. Okay, so for this particular building, the overall the total cost is 13,93,994. Now example number 7. Now here, prepare an approximate estimate of the new residential block with the following rate. Following details. Okay, the cubicle cube rate or cubicle content rate is given as 950 rupees per meter cube. External dimension of the block is given as a 10 meter by 9.5 meter. Means whatever our proposed building is there, for that particular proposed building, the area is given. Okay, this is your suppose external block. This is the 10 meter by 9.5 meter is given. So we can easily calculate the plinth area of the building, 10 multiplied by 99.5. Okay, the height of the proposed building is given. Now here, the height of the building is given from the ground level to the top of the building as a 10.5 meter. Now in addition to this, we also have the details as a plinth height is given 6 meter, as well as the parapet wall height is given as a 0.9 meter. Okay, so now here the numerical is quite same. Okay, the rate of construction is directly given. Cubicle content rate as 950 rupees per meter cube. Now the cost of the building, we will see obviously cubicle content multiplied by the cubicle content rate multiplied by the cubicle content of the proposed building. So again, cubicle content of the proposed building will be equals to our plinth area. Plinth area means our block is given. Okay, so from the block we can calculate the plinth area. So plinth area will be equals to the block area. So block area is 10 multiplied by 9.5. This is your plinth area. Now the total height will be the, now remember that in case of the cubicle content rate, the height is from the plinth level to the top of the ceiling. Okay, suppose this is your building. Okay, here is the just for the drawing. Okay, this is your building. Okay, this is your particular slab. Okay, this is your slab and this is your parapet, this is your ground level, this is your plinth. Okay, so the height should be taken from the top of the ceilings to the whatever our plinth level is there. This is the height which we have to take. We do not need to take the height of the foundation, height of the plinth, or height of the parapet. Okay, so here the height is given as the from the parapet, sorry, this height is given from the ground level. Okay, this is your ground level, this is your GL, this is your plinth level, and this is your ceiling level, this is your parapet. Okay, so the height is given from the top of the building, okay, to the ground, okay, whatever ground level is there. This particular height is, total height is given as a 10.5 meter. So we need this particular height, so we have to deduct the parapet height as well as we have to deduct the plinth level. Okay, so therefore the height of our building, whatever our, this is your plinth area, height of our particular building will be equals to total height is your 10.5 meter minus the height of the plinth level is 0.6, as well as the height of the parapet height is equals to 0.9. This will be the height, okay, for the calculation of the cubicle content of the proposed building. So cubicle content, the plinth area is 10 multiplied by 9.5, that is 95. The height will be equals to 10 meter minus the plinth area as well as the whatever our parapet wall height is there. Okay, so that will give us the height and the area. So we can calculate the cubicle content of the proposed building as 95 is your area multiplied by the 9 meter is your height. So cubicle content is 855 meter cube. From that we can calculate the cost of the building. Cost of the building will be equals to the cubicle content rate. Cubicle content rate is your 950 multiplied by the cubicle content of the proposed building. For the proposed building it is 855. That will give us the cost of the building as 812,250. Okay, again here there is no mention of the any appropriate consideration or any suitable provisions we have to provide. Okay, so there is no contingency, there is no services, there is nothing. Okay, only the whatever cost is there, that will be your final cost. Okay, next example number 8, prepare a rough estimate prepare a rough cost estimate of the hospital building for the 50 beds. The cost of the construction altogether for each bed is given as rupees 600. Considering the following details, increment rate over the year is 6%. Okay. Now again here the rough cost estimate is given, and whatever our hospital building is there, we only have the one detail about the hospital building, that is it is a 50 beds. That is also known as your service unit. Okay. So in this particular method we have to use the service unit method. As the cost of the construction is given as a per each bed means per service unit. So first step, that is the cost of the first step is your cost service first step is your rate of construction. Now here, as we know, for the proposed building only the service units are there, therefore we are going to here use the service unit method. So for the service unit method, the rate of construction is directly given as a service unit rate, that is a 60,000 per bed. Okay, here the cost of the construction for altogether is given as for the each bed as a rupees 600. So therefore each bed for the each bed is 60,000. So therefore this is your service unit rate. Okay, service unit rate is given like rupees per whatever our service unit is there. Here the service unit is bed. Okay, so therefore rupees per bed. Okay, so from now again this particular rate, another one consideration is there. The increment in the rate over the year should be taken as a 6%. Now whatever our this rate was there, that is for the each bed the rate of construction was 60,000. This rate was old. Okay, it may be suppose 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever the rate is there, that particular cost of the construction was a while ago. Okay, but now considering the new rates of the materials or the labor rates in the change, we have to increase that particular rate so that the rate of the construction will be suitable or will be probable or will be more accurate to the current rates in the market. Okay, so therefore here it is given that the increment in the rate over the year should be taken as a 6%. So our original rate or the original service unit rate was 60,000 rupees per bed, but this is your old rate, therefore we require the new rate or the corrected rate. Okay, so the corrected service unit rate will be equals to whatever our old rate is there. In that particular rate we have to increase it by the 6%. Okay, the increment is 6%. The increment in the rate over the years is equals to 6%. Therefore here we are increasing it by the 6%. Okay, some of the time it is given as the increment in rate is equals to 3% per year, and this particular rate is suppose 3 years old. It is given in the numerical that this rate is 3 years old and the increment in rate is 3% per year. So in that case 3% multiplied by the 3 year, the total increment should be equals to 9%. Okay, so here it is not given like that. Here directly given that the increment in rate over the year should be taken as a 6%. Therefore directly taking it as a 6%. Okay, so increasing our rate, original rate was 60,000 rupees per bed, increasing with the 6% to get the corrected rate. So the corrected service unit rate will be equals to 60,000 multiplied by 1.06, that will give us the rupees 6360 per bed. Okay, now we get the corrected rate. Next will be your obviously cost of the proposed building. Cost of the proposed building will be the service unit rate multiplied by the number of service units in the proposed building. In the proposed building, the number of service units are 50 beds. Okay, in case of the proposed building, the number of service units are 50 beds, and the service unit rate is already given as a rupees 63600. Okay, so that will give us the cost of the building as a service unit rate 6300 multiplied by number of the beds in the proposed building 50. That will give us the cost of the building as 31,80,000. Okay, now again there is a no services or any kind of there, therefore directly contingencies will be taken on the cost of the building, as there will be no overall cost. Overall cost will be equals to cost of the building plus cost of the services, but here there is no mention of the services, therefore overall cost will be equals to cost of the building. So therefore taking the contingencies as a 3.5% of the cost of the building, that is 31,80,000. Okay, if there was any services, in that case we might need to add the cost of the services, and then from the overall cost we are going to take the contingencies cost. Okay, so contingencies cost 3% should be taken on the overall cost, and here there will be overall cost will be equals to cost of the building, as there will be no cost of the contingencies. Okay, sorry, there will be no cost of the services. So the contingencies is 3.5%. So step 3 is your completed, that is the cost of the contingencies. So total cost will be equals to cost of the building plus cost of the contingencies, that will be equals to 32,91,000. Now in this particular session it is given as we have to provide a provisional sum. Okay, we have to provide a provisional sum of rupees 6,50,000 for the AC installation. Some of the time it may be given that we need to provide a third party installation in this particular wordings. Okay, it can be anything, But if there is a mention of any third party, or if there is a mention of any provisional sum, so if there is a mention of like this particular items, in that case whatever our cost is there, that particular cost should be added to the total cost. Okay, whatever our final cost is there, this particular total cost will be your cost, this will be your overall cost. Okay, overall cost plus cost of the contingencies. Okay, so addition of the all class, after the addition of the all cost, we are going to take the provisional sum. Okay, so here considering the provisional sum is your 6,50,000. Therefore grand total will be equals to total cost plus provisional sum. Total cost is your 32,91300 plus provisional sum is 6500. Okay, so remember that if there is any mention of the third party, or if there is a mention of the any provisional sum, whatever our provisional sum is there, this need to add at the end of our numerical. Okay, after doing all of the particular contingencies, so services, cost of the building, whatever our calculation is there, after doing all of that particular calculation, whatever our provisional sum is there or any third party installation is there, that should be added at the end of our numerical. So here again we are adding the 6,50,000 for the AC installation as a provisional sum at the end of the numerical. Okay, so therefore we get the cost of the building, or the approximate cost of the proposed structure, as a rupees 39,41,300. Okay, so okay, that will be the end of this particular lecture. Okay, if you have any doubts in this particular numericals, or you want more numericals on the approximate estimate, let me know in the comments. Okay, or you can also contact me on the WhatsApp. Okay, thank you.